Welcome back, guys. It's Joseph here once again. We're talking trading psychology in tonight's video newsletter. And so here's the question. Why is it so hard to wait patiently for the right trades each day? Why do even the most experienced traders, why do we force trades? Why do we gamble on trades? Why do we take trades outside of our trading plan? Why is it so hard to wait for a good trade? Well, not to worry. In tonight's video, I'll show you guys how the right preparation, the right strategy, and the right mindset with some important trading rules will get you patient and ready to take that kill shot when the time comes. Tonight we're talking about how to wait patiently for the best trades. In tonight's video, you're going to love tonight's video. We're talking about how to trade like a sniper. You're going to love this lesson tonight, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. Hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. You ready to go? All right, let's jump right in. All right, guys, let's get right into it here this evening. Why is it so hard to wait for a good trade each day? In tonight's video, I'm going to show you how to trade like a sniper, how to do the right preparation with the proper self-control and the confidence to pull the trigger when the timing is right. And you'll want to watch all the way to the end tonight because I'll give you a 3-step system towards the end that I follow every day to help me stay patient for the best trades every day in our trade room. So, why is it so hard to maintain self-control during the trading day? Well, there are probably many reasons why this happens. First of all, if you're a trader, you're probably a pretty driven person. You've likely succeeded in other aspects of your life, and you probably assume that you'll succeed in trading as well. As traders, most of us have goals we want to achieve, and we're definitely not afraid of hard work to achieve those goals. This means, of course, going out every day and making it happen, right? Go getting the job done, doing the work. This desire for achievement is great. And the effort to make something happen, it works most of things in life, right? It works most often in life, but it doesn't really work very well in trading. In fact, in trading, the act of doing nothing, as they say, is just as important as doing something. And we need to understand that, waiting for a trade is actually part of taking action if you're a serious trader. So start by separating this idea that you have to be doing something to make money in these markets, because oftentimes doing nothing is usually more important, especially when you're new to the financial markets. I also think the lack of experience is a big reason people force trades and struggle with waiting for a good trade. Simply put, you have to know what a good trade looks like if you want to have a successful trading career. And you're going to struggle with patience if you don't know what a good trade looks like. And not to worry, I'm going to talk more about what my definition of a good trade a little bit later in this video, so make sure you keep watching. I also meet a lot of traders who place unrealistic expectations on their trading. This might be lack of experience or trying to qualify for one of those funded trader programs you see being pushed online these days, which are almost always a trap, by the way. You got to understand, we can only take what the market gives us each day. Sometimes a lot, sometimes it's not very much at all, and we need to be okay with that. The moment you say, I'm going to make $10,000 this month, or the moment you create that $100,000 challenge, you put yourself in a situation where the pressure to find winning trades will often push you and force you into taking trades outside of your plan, which usually result in losses. Some of the best trading advice I can give you is come in every morning and take whatever the market gives you, because that's the only thing that we can actually control in these markets. Remember, the markets are different each day. Maybe they're slow today, or maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. It doesn't matter if your rent is due next week or if your buddy is ahead of you in your bet to be the first to earn 50K. You can only take what the market gives you each day. So make sure you have realistic expectations. And lastly, and certainly not least, I think another big reason we struggle with waiting for a good trade is because we don't have a plan for how to wait. And we don't have the self-control to keep ourselves from forcing bad trades while we're waiting. Not to worry about that though, because by the end of this video, you'll have a game plan to make sure you have that plan for waiting. So let's keep going to the rest of these slides. So what's the trick? How do we wait for the best trades each day? Well, you got to start thinking like a sniper. What's a sniper? A sniper is a highly trained soldier who specializes in shooting targets with these modified rifles from incredibly long distances. They wait patiently, they control their body and their breathing, and they look for that ideal opportunity for the perfect kill shot. A good sniper doesn't feel anxious, doesn't feel scared. All they feel is their finger on the trigger and the target in their crosshair. Then what do? Once they complete their shot, they get up, they move quickly, and they move on to finding the next target. There's no celebration. There's no bragging on social media. They keep moving because all they know is proper execution. Does that sound familiar? Well, I hope it does, because that's exactly how we should be trading these markets. We should be trading like a sniper. It all starts with extensive preparation. A good sniper spends more time preparing to shoot than the actual shooting itself, don't they? They practice in different conditions. How to hide in the forest, the desert, in the snow. How to shoot in the rain, the snow, and windy conditions. And they always follow a system, right? They prepare ahead of the shot. They control their emotions leading up to it. They execute the shot properly, and they review their actions so they're always improving. Their system they follow ensures they stay alive and they get their targets hit every single time. And they never force the shot, do they? Because that would put themselves and others at risk. They wait patiently for just the right moment when they have an unobstructed view of the target, where the reward far outweighs the risk. They are the definition of self-control, aren't they? They sit motionless for hours on end, controlling their breathing, controlling their muscles, and their mindset the entire time. Because their opportunity could come at any moment, and they better be ready. And once the job is done, what do? They get up and they keep moving. There's no celebration if they hit the target, and there's no second chances if they miss. They get up, they get out, and they go find the next target. Because if they don't, they might not make it out alive, right? And of course, when the dust settles, they take inventory of what happened, don't they? It's not just hit or miss the target. It's a forensic review of the conditions leading up to the shot, the technique that was used, and the result that came from it. Because they know the review is just as important as the shot itself, right? It's that review that makes the next shot even more effective and more accurate. And the process continues. And I'll tell you, I got to say, right, just talking about this, it kind of gives you chills just thinking about how these snipers work, right? You know, pardon the language, but these snipers are badass, aren't they, right? They're badass. And that's exactly what I want you to become as a trader, right? Hopefully this video will help you turn into a badass trading execution machine. So let's break these down and apply these principles to your own trading. How do we wait for a good trade? Well, it all starts with the right preparation, right? Just like a sniper, trading is a performance skill, right? It's all about, can you perform in the heat of the moment? And that means we should be spending more time preparing to trade than we actually do trading. You know, for me, being prepared each day means knowing what a good trade looks like. And remember, the market conditions are always changing. So just like a sniper has to deal with rain, wind, snow, etc., we do too, right? We have to know how to deal with all these different conditions we face each day. You know, sometimes the markets are moving strong with strong trends. Other times the trends are weak and almost flat. And sometimes the markets are flat as a board, trading sideways inside of ranges. We got to invest the time outside of market hours, right, through preparation, to learn how to best trade each of these types of market conditions. And you know, I've mentioned this in previous psychology videos, but the key to trading different conditions is to understand rotation in the markets that you're trading. You know, for example, trending markets. Trending markets love to rotate back and forth inside channels. The slope and the width of these channels is the biggest determining factor of the best type of ways to trade them each day. And then of course you got the range markets, right? Range markets are slightly different. They love to rotate too, but they rotate from top to bottom of the range. And again, the size of that range is an important clue. It tells us the right entry patterns and the right trade management, right, to capitalize on those conditions. And, guys, not to worry, I'm going to give you a system to help you learn all this stuff at the end of this video, right? So don't give up on me yet. Make sure you keep on watching all the way to the end. But that's the type of preparation that we need. When you're new to trading, you should be spending really more time preparing for each trade than actually trading, with the goal of learning how to trade each of these different market conditions using the proper rotation. Next up, how do we wait for a good trade without forcing bad trades? Like a sniper does, we follow a system. We follow a system before we trade. We use a set of rules to define exactly when the time is right to pull the trigger or when it's wrong and it's better to sit and do nothing. I've been using rules in my trading career for nearly 15 years, and I've learned a lot of the right and the wrong ways to use trading rules. For example, they need to be short, they got to be potent, and very specific. Come on, we can't have 20 trading rules because it will take too long to use them. By the time you qualify all 20 of those rules, the trade will have already passed you by. So they got to be short and potent, right? And they need to be specific. There can't be any question about what defines a good signal or what a test of a support or resistance levels look like, right? Or what momentum needs to be. It's got to be very specific. But most importantly, they need to be prioritized by when you're going to use them. For example, the rule for avoiding resistance should come way before the rule for the signal candle, right? That makes sense, right? I want my list of rules to be short, potent, but to also help me kind of work my way into each trade so I can qualify each trade as a situation develops on the chart, not just all at once in the blink of an eye right before you pull the trigger. I would assume a sniper works the same way. I don't hang out with many snipers in my daily life, but I would assume that most snipers, they don't just sit down in the brush, right? Run quickly through the system and then start firing off shots. No, they're sitting there for hours on end, working their way up to getting the timing right for that perfect kill shot. And I'll tell you, good trading also requires us to be selective with our trades, right? You got to be patient along the way. That's step 3, right? For trading like a sniper. And that sounds easy, staying patient, it sounds easy at first, but it's hard to wait for a couple hours without doing anything. You really need to have a plan for how to wait. You do, right? This is one of the biggest kind of keys to my success, right? You got to have a plan for how to stay patient. So what's your excuse going to be for why you're not forcing that next trade? Because by the way, guys, in this case, this is where excuses are actually good. I know, as a side note, I know we live in a world where excuses are pretty much worthless. The job gets done or it doesn't. I've been a big believer in the, skip the excuses my entire life. But like a lot of things in trading, what works in regular life doesn't work very well in here. So you're going to need an excuse for the next time that little voice in your head tells you to force that low percentage trade. You're going to be tempted to break your rules, right? So you better think of something ahead of time. Keep telling yourself, I'm waiting for my trade today. This is what it looks like. The rules are right here. I just need to wait for it because I know it's out there. I've mentioned this in previous trading psychology videos. We get plenty of good setups each week, so there's no need to force trades, but there is a need to have an excuse, right? Some story you can tell yourself for why you're waiting on the perfect kill shot. And then for me, I'm constantly doing an assessment of the market conditions. Where are we? What's the strength of momentum? And what are my indicators telling me? That keeps me alert. It keeps me engaged in the market, and it makes it easier for me to work those rules and take action when the time comes to it. And just like a sniper, I need the situation to be right. I need an unobstructed view of my target, right? Or my entry, whatever, right? Whatever metaphor you want to use. And the reward needs to far outweigh the risk. Just like a sniper, right? Snipers only take that shot when the reward is worth it, when they have their target unobstructed, right, within striking distance. And while I'm waiting for those conditions to be met, right, while I'm staying patient, what is my mode? My default mode is self-control. You know, experienced traders will often tell you that trading is actually waiting, which is why self-control is one of the most important skills. If you're having trouble waiting for good trades, self-control is obviously very, very important. That leads us into step 4 of trading like a sniper. How do we wait for a good trade? We have to get that. We have to develop and maintain that self-control. Now, I've mentioned this in many previous videos. The first step is we gotta build those focus muscles so we can wait patiently for when the best trades come each day. This starts with living a balanced lifestyle. Getting enough sleep, eating real food, I know, real food a few times each day, and doing your best to avoid chemicals that get you high or bring you back down. You need your body, guys, to self-regulate. We got to get that baseline for our bodies once again. We don't want to be dependent on caffeine to wake you up or sleeping pills to put you to sleep at night. For me, it all begins with my evening routine. If I skip that last glass of wine, if I turn off the television a little bit earlier and do some light meditation before a good night's sleep, the following day, I feel so much better, right? I eat healthy the following day. I get some exercise. I work hard all day. I spend some time, right, with the family, doing whatever I love the most. That balance is what we need here, guys. That balanced lifestyle will make everything easier, especially your trading and waiting at the computer each day. When your body feels good, right, you're going to trade a whole lot better. Then get to work on removing distractions during the day, not just from our time while we're trading, but the entire day. You know, we've talked about this many times before, but if you're living every day in a distracted environment, you're not going to be able to sit quietly and wait for a good trade for a few hours. Your mind and body will still crave that stimulation. You can't just turn it on and turn it off. So get your cell phone off your desk while you're trading. Get out of the social media, get out of the chat rooms, and please stop checking email, stop checking news every 5 or 6 minutes on the interwebs. I know it's not easy at first, but training your mind to be content with sitting quietly in a room without any outside stimulation is critical for your trading. In fact, one of my favorite authors, I've talked about him many times on this channel, his name is Ryan Holiday. He wrote a book titled Stillness is the Key, and he talks about why this is so important and provides some great strategies for making it work in a busy world, right? Great, definitely applies to trading. I'll drop a link for that book in the description of this YouTube video. So grab that link. Grab that book. It'll be a great book to read over the holiday tomorrow or over any long weekend. And it will give you some strategies, right, to kind of embrace those focus muscles, right, that we're talking about here tonight. And possibly the most effective tool in developing self-control is through mindfulness work. You know, things like meditation and yoga. You know, guys, I talk a lot about this in this channel, but I can't think of anything more effective at developing those focus muscles than using a program like, you know, Headspace, right? Headspace has this Take 10 series that builds you up from, you know, 10 minutes to 15 minutes to 20 minutes of meditation. It'll build up that mindfulness, build up those focus muscles. And again, what I'll do is I'll drop all the important links I'm talking about in the description of this video. So make sure you grab them there and start building that mindfulness work. And last, but certainly not least, find a hobby outside of trading, preferably something that doesn't require you to be at a computer screen, right? Why? Because let's face it, it's impossible to be perfect as a trader. You know, losses are part of the game. When you are a trader, you're constantly making mistakes. It's part of the game. Perfection is so out of the picture when it comes to trading. So with a hobby, something that makes you feel good about yourself and gives you self-confidence will really ease your mind. It'll make it a whole lot easier to stay patient and wait for a good trade. And I get it. I realize this might not seem important, but when you spend your free time with the people you love, doing things you enjoy, you're just going to feel better when you get back to your desk the following day. And when you feel better, when you feel good, you're going to trade good, right? You'll be more patient. You won't be as irritable, right? You'll sleep better. Everything gets better. For me personally, I took up gardening a few years ago as a hobby. And I'll tell you, I'm not the best gardener, but I really, really enjoy it. You may have noticed I have a big garden I've planted in the backyard of my house, right? In the back of my YouTube videos here. You know, again, I'm not gonna win any awards for, you know, being Green Thumb of the Year, but that simple hobby of gardening takes me away from my computer. It slows me down. It makes me feel good about something I've accomplished. Nothing more rewarding than watching, vegetables grow, really, in my opinion. And it makes me appreciate the patience required in doing anything that really is worth doing in this life. So definitely find a hobby, and again, preferably off the computer, and grab a friend. It'll help you a lot more than just in your trading. Trust me, it'll build that self-esteem. It'll make that self-control a whole lot easier in the long run. Then step 5 in trading like a sniper is to pick up and keep on moving. What does a sniper do after they hit their targets? They get up and they move, right? They don't just sit there. There's no celebration. There's no victory dance, right, after the kill shot is hit. They don't leave the scene beating their chest and, mic dropping and acting like they've never hit a darn target before, do they? No, not at all. And certainly, right, they're not depressed if they miss their target, are they? No, they're not depressed, and they certainly don't fear, right, the next trade, right? They're not going to let a miss today make a miss on the next one either, right? They don't lose all their confidence because they missed the last shot and let it affect their next one, right? And of course, what do they do after that? They get up, right, after the shot, they get moving, and they go hunting for the next target, don't they? This is what we need to do as traders. Winning trades should never cause celebration or overconfidence, and losing trades should never cause panic or desperation, right, or depression. After we take each trade, we take inventory in our trading journal and we move on to finding the next good trade. In fact, that brings me to the final step, step number 6 of trading like a sniper. Every trade we take, we have to take inventory with a detailed review of every trade. This begins, of course, with keeping a trading journal, one of the most important things in my trading development. As I mentioned in previous videos, this should be a forensic review of each trade you take. The market conditions, support and resistance that was used, what the indicators were saying, the setup itself, the signal candle, the trade management, everything that went into that trade. You should also document your emotional state leading up to and after each trade. You know what I mean? Because the ultimate goal is to use this journal, to use this information to identify patterns, not only in your trading, but in your emotional state leading up to each trade. For example, a lot of people might notice that they force trades on Mondays. When they're eager to make money for the week, right? Getting the green for the week. For me personally, I was always guilty of forcing trades at the end of the week or the end of the day when I'm tired, I'm less disciplined, or when I'm sitting in the green, right, for the day. We all have something, right? We all have something, and keeping a journal will help you pick up on those bad habits, those patterns that are usually causing most of our mental mistakes. And I should also mention, most of us have good patterns too. The patterns aren't always bad. Like I mentioned earlier, when I get to sleep on time, when I get a good night's sleep, when I begin the following day on a good note, I usually see much better results that day. How was your sleep quality? How was your mood when you got to your desk this morning? Those are important details. Are some patterns you're noticing, are they holding you back? Are other patterns actually helping you? Keep a journal. and start paying attention to when am I making my best decisions and when am I making my worst decisions? What's leading up to that? What are a couple steps up the line on that? Keep a journal and you'll start finding those good and those bad patterns. And speaking of finding them, most importantly, you got to invest some time to go back and read the journal and make changes. Obviously writing isn't enough, right? We have to commit an hour on Saturday or Sunday. I wouldn't recommend on Friday. You can on Friday, but oftentimes we're a little bit too mentally drained on Friday. So I like to come back on Saturday or Sunday morning and read that journal. I go over all the screenshots from each trade. I update my trading rules, and I make small adjustments with the goal of getting 1% better each day. In fact, I've lived my entire adult life trying to get better each week by week, right? Because, think about it, guys. You can't guarantee you're going to win every day. But you can guarantee with the right attitude and the right plan and a balanced lifestyle, you can win every week. You can't win every day. Sometimes life comes at you fast, right? But you can win every week. And that's my focus when I'm reading my journal. What small changes? How can I do less of what's hurting me and do more of what's helping me so I can be more effective to win bigger or to win more or start winning the following week? Go back and review that journal every weekend, right? Nice. It's one of the most important investments you'll make out of the entire week. All right, boy, we've covered a lot in this trading psychology video. Quick recap here. Here are the 6 steps to trading like a sniper, right? Or waiting for a good trade each day. First, you got to know what a good trade looks like in ranges, in trends, and how to use the market's rotation. Then you got to work a system of using rules to qualify each trade. And while you're waiting, have a plan. Have an excuse for the time spent not trading, right? What are you going to tell yourself? Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for, right? And of course, it all gets easier if you build those focus muscles. So you better start now. Focus and patience and discipline is like a muscle. That's why we call it focus muscles on this channel, right? You got to build them and you got to maintain them, right? Especially when you're not trading. Again, you can't just sit down at your desk for a couple hours and say, okay, I'm going to be focused for 2 hours right now. It doesn't work that way. Just as you can't go to the gym and start bench pressing 250 pounds if you've never lifted weight before, right? You got to build those muscles up over time. So start building them today and do it all day long, right? 24/7. Then get up and keep moving, right? After that shot is taken, right? Document your work and keep on moving. And again, right? Keep a journal. So you can start to identify your best and your worst patterns, not just when you're trading. Now that is a powerful strategy for trading success. But think about this now, guys. What does this entire process start with? What's the first step in trading like a sniper, right? The first step is to know what a good trade looks like, right? You got to know what a good trade looks like, and you got to have a system to follow. That's the first couple dominoes to be able to stay patient and start turning that corner in your trading career. This is exactly why I use and I teach a 3-step strategy with all of our students here at schooloftrade.com. In fact, if you're having trouble waiting for the best trades each day, or if you simply don't know what a good trade looks like each day, this 3-step system will make it a whole lot easier. It's so simple. For example, in step 1, we begin by identifying what I call the day type. Guys, the markets are different every day, but they can always be classified into one of 2 types of days, either a trending market or a trending day or a range bound market. We call them trending days and range days. It's as simple as that. In step 1, when you know the day type, you then know what type of strategy works best that day, which for me makes it so much easier to stay patient and wait for the best trades. Then in step number 2, once we know our day type, we then apply support and resistance levels that work best in those specific market conditions. Just like a sniper would use different tools and tactics in windy conditions or raining conditions, we do the same thing as traders with this three-step strategy. For example, if the market was trending today, for example, we'll use different levels of support and resistance on a trending market than if it was a range-bound market. One of the most common reasons why new traders lose money is because they're trying to use the same levels of support and resistance the same way every single day, even as the market conditions are changing. Not to mention, you'll find it so much easier to wait for the best trades when you know which support and resistance levels are more likely to make you money that day, right? It's all about knowing which levels you can trust that day, and step 2 will help us figure that out. And then finally, in step number 3, once we know our day type and we find the right levels of support and resistance, then we look for entries off those price levels. There are 4 basic entry categories you'll learn in the third step of this strategy. There's failures, there's breakouts, there's pullbacks, and most importantly, reversals. More importantly, I teach my students all the specific rules we use to qualify each of these entry setups, so we have the confidence to pull the trigger when the timing is right and the patience to wait when it's not. This is the type of system you'll want to follow each day, right? Because it helps you adjust to changing conditions. It helps us identify the best support and resistance levels for those conditions that day, and then time the entries properly no matter what the situation calls for. Guys, if you're having trouble waiting for a good trade, or maybe you simply don't know what a good trade looks like, right? Or maybe you just want better results in your trading, this 3-step strategy will definitely help you get there faster. And it's really easy to learn too. So, this video is getting kind of long here right now. What I'll do is I'll put a link here for you guys in the upper right-hand corner. I'll put a little pop-up there for you in the upper right-hand corner, and that will give you a link to join and learn this entire 3-step strategy as part of our free Quick Start class. Guys, the markets are complicated. They are. There's a lot of moving pieces to learn at first, but this 3-step strategy, and again, I'll put a link up there for you guys in the upper right-hand corner, right? This 3-step strategy will give you a simple roadmap to follow to get your trading on the right track. Not to mention, I provide hundreds of examples of what my definition of a good trade looks like, right, as part of that free Quick Start class. So make sure you grab that link in the upper right-hand corner. You'll really benefit from that free trading class. I get so many great emails back every week from folks who took it. So, wrapping things up here tonight, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you really enjoyed tonight's trading psychology video, please be sure to hit that like button on the video and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I'm going to keep these videos coming every day this week. And remember, I'm always looking for new trading psychology topics, so let me know your biggest challenges in the comment section below, and I'll get working on that video for next time. But that's all for me tonight, guys. So grab that free trading course I mentioned earlier, use the resources I've linked up in the description of this video, and start trading like a sniper. Until next time, be well out there, be nice to each other, will ya? Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.